Hi YouTube, my Ninja here. Hope you're well. So today I'm going to be doing the part 2 for our Runick deck profile. So I'll just be talking through some of the combos and some of the cards that I look for when I'm dueling with this deck. But the main heavy focus is just around getting rid of my opponent's cards from their deck as quick as I can by banishing them, whilst also protecting my own life points. So if we go through the main deck, then we'll talk about a little bit about the extra deck. So early on, I try to get Runick Fountain out as quick as I can, because once that's out there, it's just really handy for when you're playing your other quick play Runick cards, because you can just recycle them from your graveyard, shuffle them into your deck, and then draw the same amount of cards. It's just a really handy effect to have. And I always try and get a Runick Allure out, because it's not just my cards that affects my opponent, it's also my opponent's quick play spell card. So whenever I'm using, say, Golden Droplet, or even if I use my Cosmic Cyclone, because it's a quick play spell card, it just adds another card to be banished, which just helps to reduce the deck quickly. So once I've got them out, and even if I haven't, I'll still use these cards. I know it doesn't mean I get a battle phase, but it just lets me get to that point when I'm taking out my opponent's stuff. Sorry about that, just an alarm going off. Yeah, so once I've got them out, I like my Golden Droplet. Any card that I get used to begin with, I'll always use a second effect, so I can get one of my extra deck monsters out. I normally go for Moonin in defense, just because as long as he's on the field, at the end of every end phase, I'm getting an extra 1,000 life points. So if by some chance I've only got him out and he goes, at least I've had a couple of turns worth of extra life points added on. So if I do take damage, I've got enough to stay in the game. But then after that, it's all, if this zone's free, then I'll get one of these monsters out. If not, it's always the first effect. So for example, I'll get them to, so we got our Runick Allure out, activate Golden Droplet, they draw a card and they have to banish 4, but because I've activated the quick play spell card, they got to banish an extra card, so that's 5 cards. Same with Runick Flashing Fire, because this one targets your opponent's extra deck. Well, this time it will be you banish 2 from top of the deck, and then an extra one goes. And the same with Runick Destruction, I get to destroy an opponent's spell trap card, plus I'm banishing 4 cards, plus the one from the Runick Allure. And the downside is you can only activate one of each one once per turn, but if I activated the stem alone, they'd be banishing 4, 6, 10, plus that's 13 cards. And then if they're in the graveyard, I put them to the bottom of the deck and I get to draw 3 new cards. So like that's the main core. If I can get them out early, then it's pretty handy. And then another card that I've got is my Quick Booster. That ties in nice with all of these, because they're quick play spell cards. So essentially I activate it and I can just get one back. I can shuffle it into the deck and I've got it there then. Whereas if this one gets destroyed because of my opponent's card, then I can get one from my deck and add it to my hand. So it's a nice way to get to some of these a bit quicker. And then obviously we've got some other strategies in this deck, because we need to make sure that we're protecting our life points. So that's why I've got these 3 Cash 2 Fenriers and 1 Unicorn, because each of them can be summoned, especially as long as I don't have a monster in the field. So if I put special summon Cashew Unicorn, because he's been special summoned, I can then add 1 Cashew spell card from my deck, or I'd go for Cashtier Rebirth, put it in the field zone, and then if I'd say I had my red eyes or I had Fenrir, I could then normal summon, and I can either keep them on there for effects and let me banish from my opponent's extra deck and from the field, or I could just as easily overlay them like that and bring out my red eyes Metal Flare Dragon, which is that's the purpose of them. Is it's a bit of extra firepower, another way to get rid of cards, but also I can get him out nice and early. And then each time my opponent activates a card in effect, they're going to take 500 damage. So as well as protecting myself, I'm also doing damage to them. And it's handy that he can't be destroyed by card effects. It's another reason why I've got red eyes and I got 2 Fenrirs. If I started off with Fenrir, then I'd either get Unicorn or I'd get another Fenrir depending on when I went. If I went first, I'd probably get another Fenrir, because then if he goes on my next turn, well, I've got another one to put out, then I can get Unicorn. Whereas if I can see if I'm going second and I've already got this in my hand, well then I'd bring that out, put that down, and then just get him on the field then. Because I don't have any other Kashtira spell cards, but it's just a nice way for me to get to my red eyes Flare Metal Dragon a bit quicker. So they all go into that. And I said before that I'm running me Curry Bro Brothers just so I can get, I've got 2 of them, Lionheart out. It's just if I can, and I can link it well, this works very well if I link it with my Swords of Feeling Light, because I can get 3 out in 3 turns, and on the 3rd turn I can overlay them into my Lionheart. Find it a nice and easy little way to get him out, and then when he's out, obviously he offers me a bit more protection, but I can also do a lot of damage to my opponent without taking much damage or any at all. So that's why I've got them there. That's a combo for him. And then I've got my 3 Scarecrows, just because as long as I've got 1 there, I can special summon 1 to a decent. So then I've purely got them there just so I can get out, just for a bit of extra damage, my Tri-Heart. Then obviously when he comes out, all my opponent's cards go defense position, but once per turn, I can target one of these in my graveyard, which will be there because I've link summoned, and I can get it back on the field. So it's just adding extra layers of protection. That's the main reason I've got it there. And then I can always link into my Relinquish. So like say there was Point Monster and Dad, put it there, I can get control of it, or same if it was by there, which is, you know, nice and simple. But then also, if I can get enough out, if I can get them 3 out, I can sacrifice that and I bring out Ball Sword Dragon. Really handy card. You can't be destroyed with battle. Then once per turn I can target attack position once. I can change it to defense position, and then once I've done that I can make a second attack during the battle phase. And then and that's a quick effect, so I can use it on either turn. And then card and effects can't be activated in response to his effect, which is really handy. So it's another option. I can target 1 card in the field and I get half its attack added on, so it's just extra firepower. It's the main reason he's there. So then that's what I do with the extra deck really, is just focus on getting the specific ones out. I always go for Moon in first, just for that extra 1000 HP. And I like to get Hugging out because when she goes, I can, when she's special summoned, I can get my field spell. So if I haven't got my Runick Fountain in my hand already, it just gives me access to it a lot quicker by simply just by discarding a card. But then if I discarded a quick play Runick spell card and that's there, I could put it bottom of the deck and draw an extra card. It's just ways to recycle everything. And then obviously I'd go for Frecky and just so I can get rid of extra cards because I won't take any damage with him. And the same with Gary, it's just so I can get the non-quick spade card from my graveyard. So if all three, or if I didn't have any in my hand but I had a lure in the graveyard, it's a way for me to get that back quite quick. Yeah, so that's what we do then. Then we obviously have got a couple of cards here just to offer us a little bit more protection. So obviously I've got, as I spoke, I've got my Swords of Revealing Light, which I try to use if I haven't got any monsters where I haven't got any I can summon, just to protect me for a little bit. And I like to use a Drawn Lockberg just to stop my opponent from, you know, drawing any more cards. But then this ties in well with these cards. So obviously return a card to opponent, well, monster's opponent's hand. Opponent takes the damage, not me. That's a nice one because when the opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or the graveyard, which a lot of decks do now, you banish that card, negate the effect, and then do 2,000 damage. It's an extra burn, and obviously Mirror Force is just a staple from way back that's still effective today. As long as there's nothing there to stop it, just destroy all tap position monsters that your opponent controls. So that's the whole basis of this deck. Get your opponent's cards gone as quick as possible and try to outlive any nuking that they start doing. But yeah, so that's my Runick deck. I got some more decks lined up that I'm going to be showing you, but we'll see how what you guys think of these ones. So if there's any suggestions or any questions you have, don't be afraid to leave me a comment or just ask or anything like that. So I hope you've enjoyed both videos and it helps you if you're thinking of playing Runick. But yeah, so give us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.